This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, today in the arena. Before we dive right in, I've got to show something sweet off. Yes, the Shark Attack promotion is still going, but check this hoodie from Zavvi.com out. Gorgeous logo. On the back, look at those booster packs. Oh man. Look at those classics. Ooh. Wow. So, sweet item that is for sale now. Zavvi.com, link in the description. Promo code CGB. It's mentioned in the description. There is a discount for my viewers. So please check out Zavvi.com, and thanks so much for the sweet merchandise. Also, it's an affiliate link, so any purchases you make there after clicking the link supports the channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's done that. You guys always blow me away with your support, and I appreciate it. Now, the video. Shark Week and a half continues, and what would a Shark Week be without the glory that is Mono Blue? Mono Blue. Aside from some weird times in the meta, cards like Curious Obsession and Tempest Djinn lurking around, Mono Blue for the most part is the worst of the monocolored decks, because Mono Blue just doesn't have the removal. The red decks can burn things, the green decks can fight things, the white decks can exile things, the black decks kill everything all the time, and Mono Blue has counter spells. The problem with counter spells, especially in a best of one environment, if the opponent goes first and they resolve their spells before you have the mana to counter their spells, well, you die to the creatures. So, in best of one, playing Mono Blue with this format, it's an uphill battle. You are signed up for pain and suffering. Fortunately, this deck does have some very powerful cards that can rescue it from disastrous outcomes. As long as we're not getting run over by 1-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, which is going to happen sometimes, I know. But as long as that's not always happening, we can fight back. Because if we get into the mid game, we have sweet cards like Graven Lore and Alrund's Epiphany, and of course the mighty Shark Typhoon to scale into the late game and give us powerful end games and tempo the opponent out. So how do we get into that mid game? Well, one way is to keep the opponent busy, and my favorite card for that is Ascendant Spirit. Because of its activated abilities, especially on the play, the card threatens to solo the opponent. It can actually be turn 1, you play it, turn 2, activate it, attack for 2, turn 3, pump it up, attack for 4, turn 4, activate it again, attack for 6. The next turn, activate it on chapter 4 for the last time, and attack for 8. That adds up to 20. So the card can just go solo if they don't deal with it, especially on the play. And it's a good way to keep the opponent scrambling to deal with you. Another interesting way to manage the mid game is a few bounce spells like Brazen Borrower, Unsubstantiate, and counter spells like Lofty Denial and Saw It Coming to keep the game from getting out of hand. And we have Sea Dasher Octopus. Because this deck needs more cards and tempo, Sea Dasher Octopus combines well with the flying creatures because you can mutate onto them as well as the shark. But Sea Dasher Octopus also combines surprisingly well with Alrund's Epiphany, because sometimes the opponent will think everything's fine, they'll tap out, go for a big spell, like an ultimatum. You'll counter it, you'll flash in your Octopus, you'll untap, you'll cast Alrund's Epiphany, you'll attack with the Octopus, you'll draw an extra card. Maybe it's an Alrund's Epiphany, maybe it's a Graven Lore to help you find the next counter spell, and so on. So, Sea Dasher Octopus is a card I didn't like for the deck for a long time, but then finally came around to, and I have not minded it one bit ever since. It's pretty bad against the aggro decks, but the whole deck is bad against the aggro decks. But against the control decks, it's an MVP. It just keeps the gas coming when you need it. So I strongly recommend it for this build. And I can't stress enough, we want to battle Yorions. We want to battle Doom Foretold's. Like, those are the kind of matchups we want. Anytime your opponent goes 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, it's going to be a bad game. Get to the next one. Try not to be salty. I should take my own advice. Just we're gonna have fun this video. I'm sure we're going to play against all Yorion decks. We're gonna zig them and zag them and juke them. It's gonna be entertaining. I'm sure not a single red deck is gonna massacre me. I'm sure it's fine. This is fine. This video and this beautiful mono blue deck and this next episode of Shark Week and a Half is dedicated to David Kurka and Lance Draco. Thank you so much for joining the Cool Kids Club Dojo with that join button down below. It supports the channel. It means a lot to me, and I buy this cosmetic in your honor. I've been waiting on this one because I really like this card. Graven Lore, baby. This one's for you. Thank you so much for the support. Now let's dive in. Let the mono blue nonsense begin.
Get ready for a shark attack. Receive a free CovertGoBlue shark token with every Magic the Gathering singles order made from March 8th to March 21st. Only at CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, on the play with a spirit against Lurie. That's not good because they probably have a lot of removal, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of Lurist this is. Cycling's been on the upswing again, at least on the competitive scene. On the ladder, I still only see it every now and then, and I see rogues all the frickin' time. Yeah. Let's just be aggressive with this and force them to kill it fast instead of develop their own creatures. Wind Waba. Let's see. That only takes one card in the graveyard for this to get killed. They're not going to block it, though. Yeah, go hit them hard. Tempo, tempo. Make them use the Drown in the Lock next turn. We're not going to get much better use out of our mana. Okay. Huh. They still haven't removed it. We have 3 cards in the graveyard now, but we have a Lofty Denial and a Brazen Borrower. What you got? Okay. Boing. What do you think of that? What do you think about that? I'm gonna make you replay it. It's a battle of mana now. Eliminate, countered. Weird to do that in response on upkeep there. You could have taken your draw, established your mana a bit. Crap. Okay. Now you're gonna block, but you've built up my graveyard now. You know, you have my attention. So close to Auron's Epiphany, though. And we get a Graven Lore here. We're not under attack. We do have the opponent on the defensive. How do we finish the job, so to speak? If they spend their turn having to deal with this Spirit, and we get down a Borrower, and we Auron's Epiphany, that's a lot more pressure. So let's go like this. And let's go like this. Oh, they're annoying little flyers. Volmage's Domination. Okay, that's one way to do it. Do you also have an untapped blue to block the Brazen Borrower? No, you don't. Okay, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. Can I draw another Brazen Borrower to bounce this? That would be nice. This is also pretty good. Down to 7. Mine. Evil. Evil inflicted on the rogues. All right, so 2. They're at 2. We'll just make a shark on their turn. Because a 2/2 is lethal. This would take a lot of mana to become a flyer and a lethal threat. Oh yeah, mill baby, mill. What are you gonna do? Rogues has to be one of the tougher matchups because they do have a lot of flying blockers and a ton of removals. So if we steal this win, I'll be a happy camper. 4 mana open. I has Shark. Another Epiphany. Not the mana for it, though. Let's see if we can Graven Lore up a land and a bounce spell. We did it. We actually did that. Boom. Graven Lore. Just draw what you need. That should be the name of the card. We should call it Just Draw What You Need. All right. Now you're going to have to replay that and remove multiple creatures. You still haven't conceded. Why not? You're making me nervous. Okay. Good job. Yeah. Doesn't save you. Uh-huh. For your next trick, you die to birds. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Beating rogues. Oh, feels so good. It just feels so good, ladies and gentlemen. On the draw, Sea Dasher, 2 counters. If the opponent plays 1-drop, 2-drop, we lose. Just the way it is. But we can try it. Nothing wrong with trying. Other than, you know, we lose some rank. Not a 1-drop. Another land off the top. That's not looking good unless we draw a Graven Lore. Then it looks fine. Nothing. Acquisitions expert. Okay. I can live with that. Have a land. Okay, 2 straight lands off the top. None of these being Faceless Haven. So this would still happen in a 22 land deck. 3 straight lands off the top. None of them being Faceless Haven. Up to 7 lands and 3 spells. It's fine. This is fine. Nobody panic. I'm not playing the Octopus until I'm sure I get to draw a card. It's the only time I'm playing this Octopus. All right, so the opponent goes for Liliana. Do we have to counter this? It's going to be such a pain if I don't. I guess I have to counter this. Typhoon. All right, if we just hardcast this, they're going to have a hard time. They're mono black. They don't remove it. Rankle. We're a mana off of being able to like Shark Typhoon and then counter it. Makes me angry. Getting wrecked. Getting wrecked, everybody. Let's see what they choose. Probably discard. All right, so let's discard the island, play the Sea Dasher Octopus, attack my opponent to draw a card. Then we will Shark Typhoon a 3/3 that will hopefully block the Rankle. Oh, that's good against Rankle. And we have a counter now. Nice. I hope they use a Blood Chief's Thirst on this. That's expensive. Double attack. Boing. You know, I could have let them choose the Sacrifice a Creature mode. I'd lose my Octopus, but I could bounce this in response, but then I have to discard another card. So I don't think it's worth it. And now they're in kind of a squeeze. They want to deal with the Octopus. They might want to try to replay their Rankle. I'm not sure. They do go for Rankle again. I have Brazen Borrower, which I can play this turn, or I can hold up counter shields. But the Rankle blocks the Octopus, so that's no good. I also don't have a flyer right now. All right, saw it coming. And now they kill the Octopus, probably. I'm guessing a Heartless Act to eliminate, because I don't think they'd attack with this. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's another card. Do you think they have another Rankle? I think it's reasonable they have another Rankle, but a Shark Typhoon it's pretty good. So we could hold that and do Shark Typhoon for 4. We could slam the Shark Typhoon, which against Mono Black is probably very hard to beat. We could play the Ascended Spirit, have Brazen Borrower, and Lofty Denial available. They seem to be a discard deck. This is actually a really tough choice. I know you want it slammed, but I don't think now's the time. I think this is the play. We still have Brazen into Lofty open, which will counter a lot of things. 4 mana is a lot. Opponent finally goes for a Bloodchief's Thirst on the Octopus. I think that's fine, because we can pump the Spirit right back up into the zone. Octopus definitely did its job. And this deck, it isn't easy to keep getting the Octopus through. Like, we have to remove every tiny creature. Okay, that resolved easy. Step it up to a 4/4. Step it up to a 6/6 that draws, like Omega Octopus. It's also a flyer, so Lofty Denial is turned on. We draw more land. How many spells have we drawn this game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. We've drawn 7 spells, 8, 9, 10 land. Hype. All right, so we can counter that, or we can try to intercept it with Brazen Borrower. The bad thing is, if they have a Heartless Act or Eliminate, which they might have drawn off the top, that doesn't work. However, if they have that, we're in trouble anyway. Are they dead? 4/4. They are dead if this attacks. All right. Let's use our counter. We're going to make them have that removal spell. I don't think they've got it. You don't got it. You already discarded Bloodchief's Thirst earlier. You played another one. You've got a third one. Rip! Now you've made me mad. That's still not the right play, though, because they'll just make me discard the other one, and then my Shark Typhoon does nothing for a few turns. That's not the right play. The right play is to make big sharks. You can hear the internet getting angry. I told you! What the heck did I tell you? Even when I'm right, they're mad at me. Well, I guess we're discarding a Saw It Coming. You could have said I saw that coming. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you know what I did there. Roar! Mega Shark. Fine, I'll play this now. Because we have the Brazen Borrower, it'll make a 2/2. I'll bounce their thing, but I'll have nothing in hand. It's fine. It's fine. We'll hard cast the shark. See? I know my viewers. I know their bloodthirsty ways. They don't care if I win or lose. Just make the cool play, CGP. Just make the cool play, YouTube man. Do what audience and chat says. Immediately. Or we'll unsubscribe, but you won't. You won't do it. Agadeem's Awakening for Rankle. Here they come. Boingy. Got him again. I'm a magician. I got magic tricks for days. You can't prank a magician. This is Mono Blue. We play Mono Blue, Mono Blue, Mono Blue. Bounce your stuff, annoy you. Ascendant Spirit. Sea Dasher Octopus. Cycle, Shark Typhoon. Foretell, saw it coming. On the play, this hand would be brilliant. On the draw, I'm scared, but we'll try it. We'll try it. I'm just, if I just don't tank my rank playing some kind of a mono blue tempo deck, I'm happy. But I really wish I was up against Yorion. Like, a lot. I haven't played a single Yorion since picking up this deck, even though that's definitely what we want to face. Any kind of slow deck. The mono black deck that we just played, that was the closest thing to a slow deck so far. Verve Champion. Bone Crusher Giant. Robber of the rich. Yep. Attack face till I'm dead. Yeah. I know the story. Give me a 2/3. Second robber. Everybody in. All right. Now what? Still no blocks, right? You know they have a Rimrock Knight just burning a hole in their pocket, so they're going to use it. And then we have to try to stabilize from there and get some blocks that actually work. Saw it coming can help. Counter your Embercleave. Live good life. Now we can't stop the Castle Embereth, and they do hit 3 Frost permanents, so yeah, let's not play anymore. We could have made this a 4/4, but then it can't block again. Then we take 5. Then the next turn they just use the castle and we're dead on board. 81%. If they're playing mono red, I'm gonna scream. But we're on the draw again. All right. Magic the Gathering. Let's go. Turn 1 Shadow Spear. I'm quaking in my boots. Off a Darkboar Pathway. What is it, my precious? What's it do? How does it work? Boo. Come on now. Come on now. Off-curve Spirit. Manda's going first. Man is going first, OP. Oh, we need Snowland to go with our... Okay. Death Touch Tribal. All right. Well, if I've ever built a deck that can lose to poison, it's probably this one. Okay. Cool. Feels good, man. Build cool deck, get mind rotted. At least our opponent is aggressive. Gotta get that poison in somehow. We're gonna give the thing trample, you see. It's gonna be epic. Don't want to grow the spirit yet. All right. Do I actually want to... Yeah, I think I do want to foretell the Epiphany. Because it lines up with turn 5, make a 3/3 to block Finn, although there's a Shadow Spear, so that could mess with that. And then turn 6, cast Epiphany. And this turn we can grow the Ascendant Spirit. Nice. Double mind rotted on the play. with the Blood Chief's Thirst, and our opponent has a win con, a self-contained win con left over. All right. I mean, I can't complain too much, but I will. All part of the CGB experience that you tune in for. Another Shark Typhoon, huh? And the opponent's giving me another card here, I think. Unless they have a way to remove this. For 1 mana, at instant speed. That's asking a lot. Shuffler's fine. Shuffler is confirmed fine. Mind rot me. Do it. Do it. Okay, they eliminate. Sure. Didn't want to put much more mana into that anyway. Now the Shadow Spear comes over. Now the 2/4 attacks. Come on, Shark Typhoon. Found a land. No blocks. Up to 6 poison, living on the edge. Trying to impress the fans. 11 life for the opponent. If we get to go Shark Typhoon, make a 3/3. And the opponent gains 2 life from their Shadow Spear. And they have a Nighthawk Scavenger. No, I don't think I can win this way. All right, so the opponent foretells a card. What is that? The fight card, maybe? And they hold back because of the Haven. Makes sense. Lofty Denial. Raven Lore. Effective cards for sure. Let's go ahead. Send the Shark. Opponent doesn't want to trade that, do they? And then we're going to Allrun's Epiphany because the following turn we have Lofty Denial and Graven Lore available. Birds are in force. They can block the Scavenger. They can also gang up and block here. This doesn't have trample, but it can. This can be a 4/3, so the opponent's not going to attack with Finn. They already shown that. So they might move the Shadow Spear and attack with this. So if that's the case, do I want to attack with my 3/3 Shark when my opponent is at 8? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. God, it's 7 damage. If I could find a bounce spell, it's so close to lethal, but it's not lethal. So what do we do? Remember, the Faceless Haven, having mana open, is holding back the Finn. I think we just pass. I have decided we pass. Once we have our cards from Graven Lore, we should be able to wrap up the game. Let's just make sure that we don't make a mistake, overextend, give our opponent easier attacks to put pressure on us. By the way, give it up for the Octopus. Drew so many cards. That has haste. But it doesn't have trample. Only one of these can have trample. Pass to attackers without moving the spear. Let's go. What you want to do? What you want to do? Nothing. That's what I thought. Coward. You coward. I mean, I did absolutely nothing on my turn. It's all for effect. Some of y'all gotta stop leaving comments, taking my comments seriously. All right. Don't need another Octopus, actually. I could put it on one of my 1/1s, but that doesn't get you through the 3 toughness creatures. Here we go. That's a lot of cards. Bouncy bounce. No lifelink on the battlefield now except for the Shadow Spear. So opponent at an effective 10. A full in attack leaves them just fine. We have a 3/3 that can attack here and a Brazen Borrower that can come down. We also have a 4 power creature that can attack. If they block it with Finn, maybe we're fine with that, but then it doesn't defend on the way back. Power up Haven, block there, go to 10. Block here, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They lose both creatures and I draw a card. But what if they don't block here? What if they block here? Then they still have a 2 power back. What if they block here? They go to 10. They take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can go to 1 and still have the Finn and the Reaper, which can counterattack me for lethal. Tough spot. Making me work hard. A few points of life could go a long way. Have a 3/3 shark. Three shark down. What's your last card? Because the opponent didn't move the Shadow Spear. I wonder if they did that for a reason or not. Questing Beast Mode. Countered. Opponent wasn't necessarily dead on board, because they could chump away the Haven, but pretty much dead. On the play, Ascended Spirits. We're going to need to draw lands, but we've got a good hand. Let's go. I just want one Ascendant Spirit solo, and usually when you play it on the play and you're up against something like green, you get to do something like that. Never mind. Opponent's just mono red. They're no fun. I hope they, you know, run into a wall or something painful, because I don't like them. I'll foretell this. Don't know for sure they're going to play something next turn. They probably will, but it still gets a card out of our hand for their Robber of the Rich. Stupid card. All right, well, that's not a blue land, is it? Hurts. Hurts and makes me sad. Makes me sad that I can't enjoy cool things like this blue deck because everybody out there plays the dumbest deck in the history of humanity. Mono frickin' stupid red. Get out. Back to the hand. And I always get mana screwed against it too. I cannot have a decent mana draw against mono red. It's such a rigged, stupid game. Okay, the rage is coming. The rage is coming. Wait, let's get me the hell out of here. Get me out. I can't. I don't even wanna. No. 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 I did. What? How dare you ask me this? How dare you? Well, we finally play Yorion, and we're on the draw with a piss-poor hand. Mulligan. Not great either. But unsub, I guess, has to go, because it is probably the worst card in the deck. You might have noticed it in both of those hands. We couldn't get an Ascendant Spirit. We drew 3 Shark Typhoons, 3 lands. Okay, we'll figure it out. We finally get to play against Yorion, though. Will we actually find counters? We did find one. We did find one. So let's see what happens. Opponent is a mana tapping machine. See if we can get them to tap their mana this turn for, like, I don't know, cultivate. Because if we get an octopus down, that's really good. But we don't want to play an octopus into the open mana that can just kill it. Not unless we're desperate. So let's start the March of the Sharks with a baby shark. They didn't seem to have a Heartless Act there. Minding the old gods. Okay. So next turn we can try to hit them with Faceless Haven, but if they have... they're going to try to Yorion this. That's pretty annoying. I think we need to make another Shark. I think we need to be really careful here. We can't let Emergent Ultimatum resolve, and we need to draw more counters. Remember, we have 2 Unsubstantiates, which are okay against big spells. We have 4 Lofty Denials and 4 Saw It Comings, and we're having a lot of trouble actually drawing those cards. So if we power up the Haven here, it's a big risk. If the opponent has a removal spell for it, we can't have Lofty Denial open. And right now, with the way our hand is, we have to counter this Yorion, which is really sad. But the good news about countering the Yorion is then we go for the Octopus, and we try to draw into another counter. But if we don't counter the Yorion, it just bricks everything. And the bad thing about countering the Yorion is if we don't draw another counter, we lose to the Ultimatum. So we had another, we flooded out yet again in our best matchup. We weren't on the play either, that would have helped a lot. But we still have a shot. We might still take it. We could draw a few Alrund's Epiphanies in a row. Our opponent going for Seagate Restoration. Okay, you can have that. Now they have a whole bunch of cards, but we're not trying to win a long game. I think they believe we are, but we're not. We're trying to win a tempo game. So I'll draw 1 card. They'll draw 1,000,000. And that's okay. Because they still have to resolve a pretty big spell. They might have Negate, which would be a heartbreaker. Okay, if we get next turn, we're going to be fine. One, two, three, four. I guess they don't have enough mana to negate as well, do they? Oh, they do. Untap land, negate, and ultimatum. That's their line to victory. They go for binding. I mean, okay. Doesn't bother me too much. They're at 9 life. Like, what are they gonna do? They're just dead to these Epiphanies. If they tap out. They don't have to tap out here, but I have a feeling they're going to go for Yorion and die. You see why it's a good matchup? Our draw was pretty meh. But we're still probably going to win. Very interesting here. So our opponent chooses not to Yorion. They're playing around a counter. They must have a Heartless Act and eliminate something. Let's get a card deeper. See if they use this to cast something. I'm a little worried about going for the Epiphany. What if they do have a negate? Get the land. All right, so we can attack for 7, still have Lofty Denial. If they kill this, we still have Lofty Denial. We only drew this 1 counterspell, though, this whole game. It's so brutal. Yep, here comes their Heartless Act or whatever. We have to let it resolve. Ah, I should have instant speed foretold this Epiphany. Might save us some mana someday. Not that big of a deal, though. Unless we lose to a Jwari Disruption. Which we could. It's a thing. Okay. Just keep binding, just keep binding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're playing around my Lofty Denial. We can still, I think, win with the Epiphanies, though, with our opponent at 6. We just need to make... The Epiphany has to actually resolve. I wonder if making them pay 4 for that would have been right. I don't know. When we'll see. We'll see if they have a Jwari Disruption. Because they're going to get to put the Haven on here so that they have 2 mana. They kept on top. They better have a negate or a Jwari Disruption. Shuffler's fine, guys. Okay, that's nice. Dead. Not only that, we have Unsubstantiate to protect the Faceless Havens or bounce the Yorion for next turn. Yay! Number 16 must be mono red. Only mono red would be number 16, and it would be on the theme of the day. You know, some days I get all mono red, some days I get a variety, and I start thinking I can play other decks. Today's been a mono red day, but let's put them to the test. We're on the play with a sweet hand. We get to lead with this sweet card that, you know, sometimes, maybe someday gets to do something cool. Needleverge Pathway. Spikefield frickin' Hazard, are you kidding me? Man, this is so bad off curve, too. I'm probably just better off foretelling. I mean, I am running the card against a deck that plays Spikefield Hazard. Multiples. It's not a good look. Let's give it another try. We need to draw out their spot removal so Sea Dasher Octopus can draw a few cards. So you saw that they had instant speed removal there. You saw it, I saw it. If we go for this pump, they're going to kill it. So we're not going to. We'll go for it. Do we go for it now? We don't have to. No, let's force them to use mana on their turn cycle, not ours. We're very close to casting this Gravenlore. I don't know what I'm up against, but it's interesting. I'm intrigued. Another Spikefield Hazard. So now what we can do is we can double activate the Spirit. So if they try to kill it in response, bad things happen to them. They discard Open the Omen Paths. They're on the combo deck. Okay, we can definitely keep anything from happening there. And this turn, we're going to send the Octopus. We're going to send the Octopus. They don't have a 4th hazard. They don't have Shock, do they? Shuffler's fine. 4 Spikefield Hazards in a matchup where it matters. 4. But we got our Octopus, so actually I think it was worth it. Unfortunately, we can't draw land this game. But we have this, we can make a 2/2, or we can foretell this. I think we just say go. We want to make a Shark very badly to use with the Lofty Denial. So how much spot removal have you got? Our opponent goes for Goldspan Dragon. No. Bad dragon. Let's get that Lofty Denial used. All right, time to hit our land, and we do. Let's attack first in case we draw Faceless Haven. We'd rather have that on the field. Okay. 5 mana now. We have a Saw It coming. We have Gravenlore. What will our opponent do? They ran out the dragon last turn. They're probably going to counter something this turn. I think it makes sense to foretell the Epiphany and not play the Gravenlore, because I think our opponent's going to run out another dragon into the Saw It Coming, and then the Epiphany draws 2 cards with the Octopus. Lore Dracus. Doesn't do anything on its own. Except block our beloved Octopus. Ugh. That's sad. But I can wait. I think we just wait. If they have a turn like that next turn, we'll use Gravenlore. Okay, they're saying go. They might have instant speed stuff though, right? Don't they? They do. They have the shark. They can mutate on this at instant speed and just do nutty things. So we don't want to tap out. I cycle Shark Typhoon. Opponent goes for Octopus now. Let's try to fight. I'm kind of nervous now. They probably have multiple mutate creatures. They could have Pouncing Shore Shark here. Oh my gosh, so much flash. Their deck is so cheats. Pure hacking. Okay, they get back Seize the Spoils to their hand. They don't get to cast Open the Omen Pass for free, at least. And there's a bounce card. And there's an extra turns card. So these have flash. I need to bounce this with a mutate trigger on the stack. I could also do this and try to hit another land. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. Who's comboing off now? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. They're at 9. If I draw an Octopus, I can cheese 1 more damage? No, I can't, because I still have to spend mana to bounce this. They can't go off from having all this in their hand next turn, can they? If I understood the combo better, that would help. I'm not the biggest brain on that front. I'm pretty sure just having a Brazen Borrower means I'm set. Down to 3. Let's say go. Number 16 on Omen Path Mutate combo. Discard Seize the Spoils, draw 2. Treasure acquired. Mutate trigger on the stack, that taps you out. Denied. Boom. Bounce the battlefield, do nothing. Die. Oh, kitty, that's a crazy kitty. Can I do it? Can I get back in the top 100? Can I get back in the top 100? I'm up against Yorion. I'm on the draw, but I'm up against Yorion. That should be our kind of matchup. I really, really, really want an Ascendant Spirit, but I don't think I can turn this hand down. It has a counter. It has the Octopus. It has a flyer. Snowy Yorion. Snowfield Sinkhole. Maybe they also run Graven Lore. Thanks. The fans understand. The gawkers, the people just tuning in for their first CGB video are like, oh my god, the bad manners. My life can't go on. Someone was rude to someone on the internet. Why? They're just destroying the world. The fans understand. You gotta find ways to keep this game fresh when you play it every single day. Even if it's little sparks of BM. Because in the end, nobody was harmed in the making of this content. Go away. I don't like you looking at my hand. I don't like it. Not into it. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Oh my goodness, this is a this is a go long deck, which I guess is what we want to be up against. Opponent scries. We do have to stop flooding. We've got to stop meeting like this, snow-covered islands. I don't know what's with drawing 6 to 9 of you in so many games. I mean, I'm glad I'm not missing land drops. Okay. You thought you had something there. I guess they get to take my Graven Lore, which is unfortunate, but we have more. Got him there. They were like, wait, what? They do play a creature this could have removed. Yeah, I do. Cards, baby. Cards. It's all about cards. Life is cards. Give it. All right. All right. It is going to suck losing my Graven Lore. I admit that is true. And I could definitely flood out and lose. The way that this game is looking, I have no interaction. The opponent can do whatever they want to me this turn. They can have their dirty way with me. Look at my full house. They do really want to kill that octopus, though, and I don't know if they still have a way to do it. They already played out their nightmare. But I'm guessing that if this is a real deck, it's full of removal. So there you go. I bet it's just Removal City. It looks like it's some nasty tear grid, Doom Foretold, Blood on the Snow. Because I'm trying to figure out why they would have snow mana. Blood on the Snow makes sense. All right, Shark Typhoon, help me out. Help me out. Yeah. Not great. That's great. The important thing is to just try to keep a little pressure on till we can cast a few all-runs Epiphanies. I guess that's how we get way ahead. Try not to lose to Yorion in the meantime. Opponent doesn't draw a card with the Tome, so they're actually thinking that they're going to Yorion blink this Tome. Okay, go for it. Buys Yorion, uh-huh. They don't want to attack here. They know about this Shark Typhoon. It's known info. All right, my turn. Do we make the 3/3 or do we lore? We lore. Scry 5, draw 3. There's an Epiphany, there's a Saw It Coming, there's a Denial. Yes! And 2 lands to the bottom. What more could you ask for in life? And a Faceless Haven? I guess that's the answer. That's the answer to the question. That's what you could ask for. All right, so Shark Typhoon makes a 4/4. All Runs Epiphany makes 2 birds. Our opponent can go to 20 with the Maze Mind Tome. We still want to counter the Yorion. What sequencing gets us where we need to be? I think I play Ascendant Spirit, make it a 2/3, and Lofty Denial the Yorion. What you got? Yorion Gamer. Sky Noodle that I love. I love you, Sky Noodle. I'm sorry. All right, make it bigger. Let's go. Another one. Yeah. Think there are some board wipes in that hand? I think there's probably some board wipes in that hand. Look at the block. Yeah, they're thinking board wipe. Oh, that block is actually going to make this Epiphany even better, because we get to attack with the 3/3 as well. Yeah, you better gain that life. You're gonna need that life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think we can also grow the spirit for lethal, but there's the tome, so it's not lethal. But a little bit of saw it coming. That'll get us to the next turn. If I had a Whirlwind Denial, oh baby. But I don't. I hope you enjoyed today's content. Extra feisty. Go ahead. Throw a little Doom Scar. Second Ondu Inversion. Kaya? Sorry, Kaya. Not today. The Sky Noodle Slayer. That's what this is. And back to the top 100 on Mono Blue Pile. Feels like a Shark Week. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and red deck's bad. Yorion deck's good, but not for the usual reasons. It's so we can beat up on them. I may regret letting this tiger out of its cage, because you know the kind of decks I like to play. I love the Yorion piles, and this deck is probably an extreme favorite against the Yorion piles. A halfway decent draw, and they are paralyzed. But it is a very fun deck. As long as you're not getting run over, it's a very fun deck. The All Runs Epiphany is incredibly powerful with just a few attackers on board, especially with a Sea Dasher Octopus or an Ascended Spirit. Ascended Spirit itself, when you do get the game where it solos the opponent, like against a mono green deck, or just somebody who doesn't happen to draw the right removal, then it's actually really fun and a cool card, and it's better than it looks a good amount of the time because your opponent has to figure out how to deal with it instead of developing their board or their game plan. So Ascendant Spirit looks bad because a lot of times you sink mana into it and it dies, but it did help you get into the mid game. And once you're in the mid game, if you're not under too much pressure, Graven Lores, All Runs Epiphanies, and Shark Typhoons can definitely take over. Faceless Haven was awesome, a total house. Saw It Coming was sweet, Lofty Denial was a boss, Unsubstantiate, take it or leave it. I tried a lot of cards in this spot, including Unsummon and Fae of Wishes and Into the Royal. Fae of Wishes was particularly neat because it comboed with Lofty Denial while also giving me a sideboard, but I found I was never fetching from the sideboard. Fae of Wishes helped with a 1/4 blocker against the aggressive decks, but I was unfavored in those matchups anyway, and I still lost. It just took a little longer. So I ended up cutting it for Unsubstantiate, which has been fine. It's okay. All right, guys. Mono blue. You gotta have a thick skin. There are matchups you just won't win, especially in best of one. But if you're gonna fully represent all the mono decks, the dog in the fight is always mono blue. If you don't mind a little time as the underdog, this might be the deck for you. This is mono blue. This is mono blue. It might lose a lot, but it might be the deck for you. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.